Right, hi guys, I just thought I'd do a really quick video about lighting. I'm lucky enough to own things like the Rotolight EOS, Rotolight Neo 2, a couple of other flash guns and some studio lighting, like Bowen's strobes. You know, they are amazing bits of kit, but depending on what you're actually doing, sometimes you don't need a light this big or even this big. You know, obviously the Rotolights they can do flash as well, which is very, very helpful in certain situations because it doubles the output, where these sometimes don't quite have enough oomph. But for constant lighting, absolutely brilliant. So, you know, things like that. But if you're out and about, or even at home actually, and you'll just want to photograph something, a bit of a macro photography or something like that, a small torch, for example, your phone, can add enough lighting to your subject or whatever without being too overpowering. And you know, that can make all the difference. But things like this, so for about £5 or £4.99 I think this was, at a petrol station, you have a little head torch. And it's dimmable, so it's got, I don't know how many times it can do it. 1, 2, bit off now, yeah. 2 or 3 times dimming. And it gives you a really nice floodlit place to walk, you know, so in the dark you can walk around. So if you're out with the camera in the night time, it's actually really, really good. But the coolest thing about it is, one, it's rechargeable, and two, little magnetic circle. So obviously you can put this in the wash, and you don't want to put that in the wash. But it's got a little fingery, grippy thing here, and because it's dimmable or whatever, you can actually, like for example, if you're photographing a little sharpened pencil or something, you could actually add the lighting to it in a nice soft manner, even from different distances. Obviously, if you go closer, it's going to be brighter. Pull it away a little bit, you're going to get a bit softer, more manageable light. So something this small and this, you know, cheap can really transform the way you take pictures. You know, it's not perfect by any means, but it's one of those things which does come in very handy. So I've just used it in studio because it's a much softer, smaller light. I can actually use it, you know, close up to stuff, and you know, it worked brilliantly. Where this is actually casting too much light, even in the softbox, it's still casting too much light sometimes all over the place to be focused as such. Even the Neo 2 is too big. But another benefit of one of these is if you're walking around in the dark and you're out doing some astrophotography, sometimes you might want to do a little bit of light painting. So a small tree or a statue or a small building or something that you might want to add some light to. Well, obviously if you walk up to it with this, one, you could just walk around and look at it, it would still paint it. So if you walk up to your build, leave your camera on bulb or 30-second exposure for example, and go to your subject, light it up for a second or two, go back, have a look, see if it's done it enough. If not, go back, do it again. Sometimes these lights are way too bright. Obviously if it's a big building, this is going to be helpful because you could flood the whole building. But something quite small, like a small tree or a statue or something else, or even a person, you can utilise it quite well. And it's small enough to get in the palm of your hand that it disappears as well when you walk away. So you put it in your pocket or whatever and walk away, so it doesn't show up as light trails in the picture unless you want them there. So I just thought I'd talk about that really. Very, very simple. I was just using this morning thinking, do you know what, this is actually really cool and a really usable thing. Well, I bought it at one of the Esso petrol stations in the UK for £4.99. Absolute bargain. Keeps your head warm as well. And it's one of those things that, you know, it's quite a usable thing, and I've used it a couple of times actually out in the dark, either just walking or you know, taking photos. So it's one of those things. Anyway guys, don't forget to click the subscribe button, little notification bell, and I shall see you soon with some more videos. I just thought this was quite a little interesting thing, especially in winter with the winter months. The light is gone before we know it, so you know, we can do some low light stuff quite easily. So anyway, I shall see you soon.